Before they dug into the city's finances, there was talk of a long-discussed curfew for children and teenagers. It would start at sunset and run May 26th through the 1st of December, functioning as a roughly 6-month test. We're still awaiting that vote, but it was a big topic of discussion at a work session this afternoon as well. WFXR's Ryan Lowndes has those details.
Yeah, Kathleen, a lot of questions today about how this would be implemented.
What direction are we giving to our officers so it's not targeting certain persons or certain because of their skin color?
If you have 3 people standing on a street corner, they can just look at you and say, I have a right to assemble. What happens when that is what is told to your officers?
Vice Mayor Chris Feraldi putting a potential scenario to Police Chief Ryan Zudema to understand how this curfew would play out.
Until we can prove you're 18, we're going to contact someone who can prove you're 18. Again,
Forgive me, I'm going to be a little bit of a teenager for a minute, so I don't mean it disrespectfully. I'm not giving you my cell phone.
Okay, and that's fine. Then we'll take you into custody and we'll get a chins petition for you until we can determine your age.
But it was emphasized in the work session that the intention isn't to lock up kids. If someone is out after curfew, the ordinance specifies that officers may charge them, but they can also let them go.
This is a matter of giving a tool that...
Wow, so they have discretion. If you guys go back to some of my videos, I talk about discretion, authority, an immense amount of power when it comes to prosecutors, judges, also law enforcement. As you can see, what they said, the officer doesn't have to take them in. So it's pretty much going to be up to that officer. Oh gosh, wow.
And find probable cause, give the discretion of the officers that can use this wisely and judiciously, and say, yeah, we're getting these people off the street that need to be off the street. We're not going to get people off the street that forgot their note because they're going to Sunday school class in the evening.
But a young person can be charged with a misdemeanor, which the Commonwealth's attorney says can be punished by a fine, or the judge may have the teen participate in a rehabilitative program. Multiple council members referred to the recent death of 6-year-old Kingston Campbell by a group of unknown individuals who shot into his home.
Had we had the curfew in place and been able to stop whoever it was that murdered Kingston Campbell.
Okay, let me interject really quickly. Discretion. You heard them talk about discretion, right? Discretion, meaning law enforcement will have the authority to determine or to decipher, to cherry pick, let's just keep it real and be honest, to pick and choose who is considered breaking the curfew under whatever conditions or different scenarios. Discretion. You see, these are the type of city council meetings these local elected officials have behind closed doors before they vote and implement these local rules or laws or ordinances in your community and my community, which will be a trickle down to our families. This is why it's very important to be involved locally, especially when you are voting or participating in the voting process. But I told you all how I felt about that. So also, to my understanding, I think they were supposed to have the community input on something like this. But you know what? They probably did. I just didn't see anything, but I cannot confirm in this situation if they did or did not. But you know what? Let me know in the comment section if you find out anything different. Usually before they go and cast votes and give all these different types of scenarios when they're trying to implement rules and this and that, and where they're involving law enforcement, where law enforcement would be the prejudge. I would say prejudge, because as you can hear, I think it could become criminal at a certain point if there's too many curfew violations. Or what I'm concerned about, if the officer has this authority and just simply, wants to issue a ticket or bring someone in because they won't comply or whatever, or they won't provide proof of their age, then it can escalate. And now that I think about it, I don't even think law enforcement should handle this, because curfew, that's like something minor. Although it could escalate into something major depending on the youth, the teen, with their actions. You know, if they're doing something violent or if they're, you know, out there committing a crime, yes, it could turn into something else. Breaking a curfew and essing up someone's house, breaking a curfew and out there possibly breaking into a store, so committing robbery or theft. So yeah, I just have to interject there really quickly. Let me continue. Hi everyone, I am your host, owner, and creator of The Mix. Welcome to my channel. Welcome. As you can see what this video is going to be about, this curfew, decreased crime, and gun violence. As you can see, Lynchburg City Council, and this is Lynchburg, Virginia, has implemented a citywide curfew for all persons under the age of 18 beginning Friday, May 26th, and that's of this year. The curfew will remain in effect every night from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. from Friday, May 26th to Friday, December 1st, 2023. Okay, before I continue with my discussion and commentary and reaction on this topic, I need for you all to like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel, especially those who are digitally passing by. Go ahead and smash that subscription button and hit that notification bell. That way you will be in tune with all the content I drop on my channel. Also, listen to this video from beginning to end. I won't keep you all long, not at all. Let me go ahead. I'm going to share a couple screens with you. I'm going to go ahead and play this video from last year. I'm in Illinois, for those of you who do not know. I'm an Illinoisan. So I'm going to reference the city of Chicago in this video. And I want to know, do you think it works? Do you really think it works? Let me go ahead and share my screen.
Younger here in Chicago.
Effectively, immediately, teens must
Hey
be
everyone, this
accompanied by
video
an
is
adult
from
any day of the week after 10
I'm just
p.m.
referencing
Dana
it
Rebick
because
is at
it relates
Millennium
to the
Park. And Dana, have you
topic
seen
at
any
hand.
kids without an
This
adult
is a
tonight?
Chicago video from 2022.
We have seen
news
some
clip.
families walking by, but it is pretty quiet here tonight. I think the weather probably has something to do with that, also being Wednesday evening. There has been a curfew on the books here in Chicago since 1992, a very long time. But today's controversial curfew change, it did receive some pushback at the city council meeting, but ultimately it did pass.
So we're not starting with a blank piece of paper. We're tweaking what already exists.
Pushing back a citywide curfew from 11 to 10 p.m. for minors 17 and under that will be enforced 7 days a week. It had previously only applied to those 16 and under. Mayor Lori Lightfoot signed an executive order on the curfew change last week, but the vote today makes it permanent.
We have to set some sense of order. And again, I understand that people want to do whatever it is that they want to do, but that's not how life is. We've got to set some standards.
But if you, the parent, are not governing your children, then the curfew should be put on you. You're the one that's allowing your child to rampage our city.
The ordinance passed 30 to 19, and while many aldermen supported it, many opposed the measure.
All this is reactive and a headline.
Alderman Andre Vasquez calls the move reactive and outdated and doesn't feel it will help reduce gun violence in Chicago.
Because curfews don't work. What they do is they force people to go even further. All this does is it criminalizes children of color and further segregates our city.
Some aldermen saying the new curfew won't work because the previous one wasn't enforced. At Millennium Park, minors must be accompanied by someone 21 and older after 6 p.m. Thursday through Sunday. The rest of the week, teens must be out of the park by 10 p.m. Lightfoot making that move after 16-year-old Shondell Holliday was shot and killed near the Bean on May 14th. The citywide curfew does not apply to teens coming and going from ticketed or city-sponsored events. Mayor Lightfoot says police need the curfew as an additional tool to combat crime.
It's not Armageddon, and with due respect, it's offensive and wrong and demonstrably false to say that these modest changes are going to increase gun violence. That's just nonsensical.
Tonight marks 1 week since a curfew for kids and teens began in Lynchburg. No one under the age of 18 is supposed to be out and about between 11 at night and 5 in the morning. City officials say the goal is to decrease youth involvement in violence as well as protect them. It comes after 3 children lost their lives to gun violence within blocks of each other in just a matter of months. WFXR's Anna McDougall joins us live from the Hill City tonight after speaking with city leaders and residents. Anna, what do they think so far?
Kathleen, good evening. Well, I spoke with several residents today about the curfew, and right now feelings still seem to be pretty mixed. Some people tell me they've already noticed a huge difference, while others say they haven't seen any change.
Innocent kids are dying. So, I mean, something had to be done immediately.
Ernest Chilton is one resident who says he can already see the effects of the curfew after just 1 week.
Kids getting too much access to guns in this area and stuff is going on, so I think it's been a little quieter since the curfew.
Lynchburg City Councilman Sterling Wilder says the curfew not only impacts kids and teens, but holds parents more accountable as well.
So it kind of puts our parents in another position to say, you know, we really need your help, that you matter, that you are monitoring your child's activities.
According to the Lynchburg Police Department, there have been 6 juvenile violations in the Hill City since the curfew was put in place. Wilder says he believes the curfew is a resource that can help make the city safer.
It gives them another tool in their toolkit to kind of keep our citizens safe, and to keep our children safe as well.
Some residents did tell me they believe the curfew hasn't really made any sort of change, but Wilder says they haven't really been seeing or hearing that much pushback.
The main thing is our children are safe. The main thing is the second is our neighbors are safe, our community is safe, because we don't want any child to be hurt or any child to be out there without supervision.
Now again, it's only been 1 week since the curfew was put into place, and it's set to continue with these same regulations until December. City Council says they may reevaluate after that time.
Okay, you guys, there you have it. I just wanted to play both videos, news clips of this topic. And what are your thoughts? Also, like this video, share this video. Lynchburg, Virginia has a list of, I guess, exceptions. And they did spell them out. Let me go ahead and share my screen really quickly. Okay, this is from WSET.com website. ABC 13 News, Lynchburg residents weigh in on new youth curfew. I'm just going to jump down to the exceptions. There are some exceptions. If you are accompanied by a parent involved in an emergency, engaged in work-related activities such as going to or from work, on the sidewalk, directly outside of your home with a parent inside, on an errand at the direction of a parent with permission in writing, including the name, signature, address, etc., etc. Wow, that's a lot. Involved in interstate travel through entering or leaving the city, or exercising First Amendment rights, such as free exercise of religion, freedom of speech, and the right of assembly. And I think that's what one of the officers in that clip pointed to, basically saying, or someone said, a youth or a teen could say, hey, I have a right to assemble, free speech, or something like that. There are some folks who think this curfew is a great idea. Someone cited, I think we need more structure, have the kids in at a decent hour. I don't think it will be a problem. I think it will decrease crime, actually. And this is from Andrea. You never know nothing until you try it. I think it would be real good for the kids to have something so they can be in and their mother know where they're at. And this is Bill Smith. He stated that. But not everyone, though, is confident that it will be effective. I don't think people look at the clock and say, hey, it's 11 o'clock. Time to stop doing crime. So I'm not sure how much that's going to help things, Chris Wilson said. Okay, so what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? In my opinion, I don't know. Split on this. I think, and I know I'm one who I'm not a huge proponent of data and statistics. I would like to know overall what have past studies shown or reflected when it comes to curfew, because I know this is not something new, for just new period. I've known it's been in place in many different cities or towns, but is it enforced? Probably not. I don't think so. Definitely not enforced in Chicago. So I would be interested to know what's the data on it, and of course data, statistics, studies, all of that stuff. If done properly, with integrity, ethically, I do believe there's something that can be used to gauge and use as like a reference when trying to determine if implementing something like this will work long term. But I don't know. I if it makes a difference number wise, hopefully someone is tracking, then yeah. But my concern if the officers may pick and choose, and then also too, officers do have discretion. So I don't know. This is really interesting. But you guys tell me, does curfew decrease crime and G violence? Do you think it really does? Even just going off of what you probably know within your own community, or just your observation of everything that's going on in this country, from media reports and from city to state and all of that. Do you believe? But yeah, my concern is law enforcement having this discretion, its authority, its power to determine or to decipher who's breaking curfew and why, and the different scenario involving that individual. They're not going to have all day to assess the entire situation. And then sometimes things could possibly escalate. It could start with curfew, and then before you know it, it's something totally different, and someone could get hurt. That is my concern. But basically, everyone, parents, get your kids. Parents who are at home, who have the time, and I do know life is life. Life is lifing for us all. If you have a 2-parent household or just a 2-income household, you're blessed. However, I do understand as a parent how it is raising kids, especially if you have multiple kids. So I'm not here to pile on to parents. I'm just trying to come up with a solution, because we do need a healthy solution for all parties involved. We don't want crime running rampant in our communities, in our areas, in our neighborhoods. However, relinquishing certain authorities to law enforcement, it could escalate quickly and unnecessarily in a dangerous manner. So that is my concern. But parents, get your kids, especially those who are, who you are, who are involved. And I mean, it's crime is going to happen. We know, even if you're over 18, it's going to happen. But the goal is to lessen and to mitigate it within our communities. I'm sort of mixed on this, because again, I get curfew, I get holding parents accountable for their kids under 18, but you have some situations where some kids are guardians of the state, meaning that a la Laquan McDonald, guardians of the state, they don't really have a home. You have some instances where parents are working multiple jobs to make ends meet. I'm just throwing these out here, just sort of kind of playing a devil's advocate and trying to see it from all different perspectives. So, but let me know your thoughts. Let's try to come together and find a solution, a good solution, but drop a comment. What are your thoughts? Drop a comment, like this video, share this video. But yeah, that is my concern with law enforcement being involved on this level in this minor infraction turning into something, a misdemeanor, criminal, or could possibly escalate to something major and someone get hurt, because is the officer well trained to handle a sarcastic teenager, a sassy teenager? I don't know, so gosh. But yeah, let me continue. There should be programs in place that's free for them, especially in opportunities to probably travel over the summer, be locally within their state, but hours away or across the state. I would say opportunities of experiences does help mitigate things like this from happening. And this is just my opinion. Because it keeps a teen busy. It does. It keeps them busy. So, but let me know your thoughts. Like, share, subscribe to the mix. Like, share, subscribe. I will talk to y'all soon. Bye.